All right, so the action continues here in the Cricket West Indies T20 Blaze, the second match between Leeward Islands and Trinidad and Tobago. We have overseeing proceedings match referee Stuart Rawlins and the two captains, Amanda Edwards and Karishma Ramarak of Trinidad and Tobago. And who has the coin? All right, so Amanda Edwards is going to spin. Heads is a call. It's a tail. So Amanda Edwards win another toss. So congratulations, Amanda. What are you going to do today?
Well, we're gonna have a bat today. It's a pretty solid pitch as always. So team and I are gonna have a bat today. Put some runs on the board. Defend that later on in the day.
All right, talking about runs on the board, what sort of total are you looking at?
We're looking at roughly 220 with our top order batters. They have a pretty much confident day coming along this morning, so we have that coming.
All right, so Amanda, congratulations. You had a historic victory in the first game against Barbados. So, what sort of approach do you have mentally and tactically heading into this game to ensure that you keep up another strong performance?
Well, the team and I are really excited on our first win for so many years. We came this afternoon with an energetic memory to win this game today, make it two, and have the rest come in.
Any changes in your 11 today?
Just one. We had an injury the other day, Tanya Martin, and we brought in Cheyenne Moses.
All right, all the best.
Thank you.
Karishma Ramarak, unfortunately, you lost the toss. What would you have done today?
We'd have had a bat as well.
Any changes in your 11 today?
Two changes. Celine and Brianna is out for Kabina and Samaru.
All right, so you've lost the toss. They said that they're looking at about 220 on the surface. What sort of target are you looking to restrict them to?
Yeah, we'll try to get them under 100 for sure.
All right, all the best to you, Karishma.
Thanks.
All right, so there you have it. The Leeward Islands have won another toss and they have decided to have a bat first.
Welcome back to Warner Park here in St. Kitts, where Leeward Islands take on Trinidad and Tobago women. Leeward Islands, they have won the toss and elected to bat first, full of confidence after defeating defending champions Barbados women in round one of the CWI T20 Blaze, and thereafter a second win. Trinidad and Tobago, they lost their first game and they will be hoping that they can get off the mark.
Yes, of course, the Leeward's cock a hoop at this point, winning the first match. Good victory also. And winning the toss, had no hesitation in batting, in taking first knock.
Yeah, it will be Renice Boyce, the star of the show, in that encounter in which they won. Trinidad and Tobago player Renice Boyce was vice captain of this side she's up against, and she's facing up to Steffi Sugrim, left-arm orthodox spinner.
She, of course, picked up a half century in that first match for the Leeward Islands. So she should be full of confidence.
Yeah, she also scored a 40 against this Trinidad and Tobago side in the last game of that CG United Super 50.
Of course, having played for them, she would know these bowlers quite well.
They will know her as well.
Certainly.
Yeah, but a chance for Boyce in particular to show some consistency. She's played at the highest level a few times. First time playing with the Leeward Islands team.
Good addition, of course, to the Leeward Islands team. And she has gotten some runs for them so far.
Yeah, and a reminder that the Leeward Islands team is the only team allowed to have outside players. They have 3 players in their squad from outside. Renice Boyce from Trinidad and Tobago, Divya Saxena from Canada, and Shabani Bhaskar, who is partnering Renice Boyce from India. India/USA, I should say. Good start by Steffi Sugrim. 5 dots. Can she close out the over well? And she does. Even better than perhaps they would have expected. Renice Boyce loses her middle stump. It goes cartwheeling. Leeward Islands, 0 for 1.
Yes, a very good delivery there. Seems to have been the arm ball from Sugrim. Yes, it certainly came back and knocked out the middle pole. So a poor start there for the Leeward Islands, losing a wicket in the first over without a run on the board. And that of the informed Renice Boyce.
Yeah, that one actually took the inside edge of her bat and crashed into the middle stump. But excellent start for this Trinidad and Tobago side, who were asked to field first. And brilliant by Steffi Sue Grimm. Shanisha Hector has walked to the crease.
So Isaac from the far end, but certainly a dream start for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Track still looks to be a good batting track. Weather has been perfect all day.
Perfect for us sitting out here in the AC.
Certainly. Well, we would say perfect for the cricket also.
Yeah, it will be Isaac to Baskar. Start short and wide. Played away to backward point. Well fielded by Janaba Joseph. Just an update on the sides. Players out for Leeward Islands are Tonya Martin, Tanetta McCoy, and Soneldo Willett. First runs on the board by virtue of a wide sent down by Kanisha Isaac. 3 players missing out for the Trinidad and Tobago side today are Celine O'Neill, Katie Jazz Mitchell, and Brianna Haricharan. Short, wide again, and this time deposited into the boundary for 4. She's very strong off the back foot, Shabani Baskar.
Yes, and that was a very nice shot indeed. Well timed. Square of the wicket out to the square cover boundary for 4. Wonderful shot indeed. And it really raced across the outfield and down to the boundary for 4.
And what she's done well there, she's gotten close to the ball. She hasn't pulled away from the delivery to open up the offside. It was wide enough, and she got across to it, and she slapped it in front of point and into the boundary. Forces a change in field. Offside strengthened. Fielder from square is sent over to cover point. Fielder from short mid wicket is sent just in front of square. Mid on is sent wider. And start and stop from Isaac. Just one fielder outside of the circle. They are allowed 2 inside this power play, but just opting to go with the 1 fielder outside the circle, and that's deep third. So 7 fielders on the offside. Start and stop again. It's not finding her rhythm as yet, Kanisha Isaac.
So let's see if she'll get it right this time. In fact, now and another adjustment to the field. And she has to stop once more.
And this time she's forced to stop because the fielder was being sent out while she was starting her run up. That's the fielder at the deep cover boundary, Steffi Sue Grimm. So protection on the offside. Now both fielders allowed on the boundary have been employed. And she goes 2 straight on this occasion, and it's tickled fine past the keeper. Just 1 run chase given by Captain Karishma Ramarat.
Poor one there by the Leeward Island batters. I thought they should have gotten 2 runs for that one.
And it is a leg by signal by the umpire. Javed Prasad, it looks like.
You know, the Trinidad and Tobago team opting to go a bit defensive quite early.
You have to try to defend that, don't you? That one is crashed into the boundary between extra cover and mid-off, all along the carpet. What a way to start, Shanisha Hector.
Yes, he certainly really threw the bat at that one. Hit it, struck it well, struck it hard. And out towards the extra cover boundary for 4. And the good thing about these 2 boundaries so far is that the batters, they found the gap well. And they have not hit them straight to the fielders. So often we have seen these batters hitting straight to, playing good shots and hitting them straight to fielders.
That one crashed again, but this time 2 straight and straight to the fielder on this occasion.
But Hector seems to be in a no-nonsense mood.
And she normally is, Shanisha Hector. And she's in a fairly rich vein of form in this tournament so far. Obviously just returned from Australia on very good batting pitches. She's really throwing her hands at the ball. Whenever given the room, Hector. Just 1 on this occasion. And it is the end of the second over. 10 from it. Leeward Islands 11 for 1.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. And look at this.
That's me. Well, that's my left arm around to you.
Steffi Sugrin to continue from the media center end. Hands through. Somehow she manages to stop that one at mid-off with her feet. Never got her hands down to it, Pascal. But she prevents a boundary. Hope she's okay.
Interesting mode of stopping that ball that time. But she seemed to have thrown her whole body at it.
Put her body on the line, didn't she?
So yes, she did.
That's me. You sure don't want this play,
Yeah, the shots that Hector has played so far shows you just how good a pitch it is.
Well, the back tracks, of course, have been normally very good for batting.
Pulls her length back to Basker. Dot delivery. And so the 2 fielders in the deep are long on and deep mid wicket. Slip in place.
Interesting though, for Sugrin, who appears to be a left-arm orthodox spin.
And she's also adjusting her line after winning that first delivery to Hector. She's gone a lot straighter to Basker. 3 dots, the result.
And this is a good one. Loud appeal.
And perhaps laying down leg with the arm. Slight adjustments being made by Captain Ramarat. Playing a miss to complete the over. So just 1 run from it. Very good start by Steffi Sugrim.
Yes, that appeal certainly seemed to be sliding down the leg side. Missing leg, so not given out by the umpire, and a good decision also.
Yeah, After 3 overs, Leeward women 12 for 1. Few spectators in the stands. We've seen a number of spectators whenever the Leeward side is playing. They are the home side in this tournament. So it's good to see that they've gotten some support.
Not too certain if some of those are Leeward Island supporters, though. They seem to be tourists. Seeing a few into there.
Is that to continue? Short and wide again, but this one is skied and it should be easily held. It is, in fact, by Kerbina Alexander at mid-off. Isaac has the prize wicket of Shanisha Hector.
So one shot too many there by Hector and paying the price, and back pedaling and taking an easy catch. And Isaac picking up a first wicket. So Lee was losing 2 early wickets. They're now 12 for 2. And we are just in over number 4. So not the sort of start that the Leeward Islands would have been looking for. And of course Trinidad and Tobago would be happy with the start they have had so far. Both bowlers, of course, picking up an early wicket. Sugrim and Isaac.
Yeah, Hector getting under that ball a bit too much, perhaps truly shot too early as well, offering a simple chance to Alexander at mid-off. Isaac gets 1 at the start of her second over, and it brings captain Amanda Edwards to the crease.
So a repair job here for Amanda Edwards. Should be looking to really post a good score here for her team and really pull things back a bit.
Cannot get off the mark. Good delivery by Kanisha Isaac. So slip still in place, deep third and deep cover. The 2 on the boundary. Punch, but can only find Leon Kirby at extra cover.
Interesting to see Ramarak captaining the Trinidad and Tobago team in this T20 Blaze.
Another one slapped to the fielder at deep cover. Steffi Sugrim does well, getting around to her right, keeping it down to just 1.
Britney Cooper, of course, would have captained the team in the CG United Super 50. And giving way to Ram Harak, who stands there at first slip.
Yeah, the first time for Karishma Ramarat captaining at this level. For the straight here, but clearly drifting down leg. It's an easy decision for the umpire.
In fact, the bowler did not appeal.
Yeah, Bhaskar missed out on that though. Remember, it's a very heavily packed offside field. Only 2 fielders are on the leg side. Fielder in front of square and at mid-on. So she just needed to get some part of her bat on it. And perhaps she could have gotten a boundary. Low full toss, but well fielded by Isaac to finish. 13 for 2 at the end of 4 overs.
So a good start there for TNT. And of course, back to Britney Cooper. I'm almost certain that she perhaps might be coming to the end of her playing days and giving way to a younger player. Giving away the captaincy to a younger player.
आप लोगों को नजर आ रहे हैं
is going to continue. Driven firmly, but straight to the fielder at mid-off.
This, of course, is a third over. And she has troubled the batters a bit, so perhaps Ramarak looking for another wicket here.
Driven over the top, past the leaping Steffi Sugrin. Work on the boundary for Leon.
I thought that.
And just gone for 2 runs so far. 2 deliveries left to complete her third over.
But she has attacked the stumps and she has been rewarded.
Low full toss. Cannot get it away, Basker. So dot to finish. 15 for 2 at the end of 5.
Yeah, so Basker giving a gift and not really capitalizing. Not really putting it away. And we have had some 5 overs completed. So Leeward's losing 2 in the first 5. I say good afternoon to Stacey Ann.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon to all the viewers out there. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago, they look quite positive in the field, stopping every run. Picking up those 2 early wickets would have helped them. Especially that wicket of Britney Boyce, who scored a half-century in the first game against Barbados. So Kanisha Isaac to continue to Amanda Edwards. Tucks that into the onside to get a single.
Isaac, of course, in a third over. And Ramarak has used the opening bowlers. So far, she has given her 2 opening bowlers a burst of some 3 overs, a 3-over spell.
Can't quite get it away. Shabani Bashkar is in it. She's 4 of 15 deliveries. This is the last over of the power play. 4 more balls remaining. We're hoping to get some lusty blows away to finish off the power play well for the Leeward Islands.
There's been a poor power play so far for the Leewards, losing 2 wickets and only 16
Down
runs.
the ground with power. And that's the way to do it, Shabani Bashkar says. And she picks up a well-needed boundary for the Leeward Islands.
Good struck there by Basker. Playing it down to long on for 4. Timing it well and playing it to the left of the mid-on fielder.
Some more spectators coming into the ground. Walks this into the onside, straight to Britney Cooper.
Of course, this is the second match of the day. Windwards, of course, going down to Barbados earlier on.
First here again across the line. Faint appeal, but certainly going down leg.
Amarak seems to be a very busy captain. She is ringing the changes.
Listen, she's a new captain, and it's the last over of the power play, and she's trying to ensure that a boundary isn't scored off this delivery. So she's covering the hitting area of Shabani Bashkar. Likes to go on the onside. She goes in that direction, and she has cover there, so it'll just be a single. So that closes out the power play. Leeward Islands, they are 21 for 2 after 6 overs.
So 21 for 2, power play gone, 6 overs completed. And you could easily say that the Trinidad and Tobago team would have gotten the better of that power play. Restricting the Leewards to just some 21 runs and picking up the 2 wickets. And of course we are seeing the First bowling change, Ramarak herself comes into the attack. She's keeping that slip in place, looking to pick up a wicket.
Yes, good captaincy from her. She's coming onto the ball. Her opening bowlers did pretty well, did a decent job for her, picking up those 2 wickets, 1 apiece. And now she has the ball in hand. Drifts down the leg side and wide signal by the umpire. But she'll be hoping to continue to build on what those 2 openers did for her at the start of this game.
The Leewards, of course, would be looking for a partnership from these 2, Bashka and Edwards.
It's the end of the power play as well, but she's still decided to keep just 2 fielders out, which at this point in time seems to be the correct call. No need to give away easy singles. The batters, they're not running away with the score, so trying to keep things tight here. Skipper Ramarak. So another dot delivery. Dot balls are piling up here.
I think though the batter's Basker, she's not looking to work the ball into the gaps. She's not looking for singles. She is really striking the ball rather fiercely.
Tries to get a quick single there on that occasion, but no, says Amanda Edwards.
But this was better though. At least she attempted to work that one into the gap and she took the pace off. And but Britney Cooper was quickly moving to her right to prevent the single.
Latches on to this one, but there's cover on that onside boundary, so keeps it to 1. Looks to play across the line quite a bit, and Ramarak wary of that, has those areas covered for Shabani Bashka. This time she's decided to put long off back.
Protecting the boundary, of course. Just the 1 run so far in this over.
So I guess this comes with, playing against this opposition. The only game that Trinidad and Tobago won in the Super 50 competition was against this same opposition. So I'm guessing she knows Amanda Edwards. She knows the hitting areas for her, so she's covering that as well by sending long off back. And she goes right away, straight to the field, and she holds on. Wonderfully taken. Great captaincy as well from Karishma Ramarak. And Amanda Edwards has to go.
Well, Lee was losing their 3rd wicket. And a little birdie told me earlier on that they were hoping to get somewhere in the region of 220 runs. But at the rate they're going, certainly a good distance away from that.
Marak picking up that wicket on the last delivery of her over. Certainly some good captaincy there from her.
The cargo boat wends its way to the Deepwater Harbour. He was not doing too well at this point, losing quick wickets. And but looking for maximum and succeeding in finding the player right back on the boundary, and she took a good catch.
And she took a really good catch above her head. So change of bowling, Samara Ramnath, one of the most consistent players for Trinidad and Tobago in the Super 50 format with bat and ball. She has the ball in hand now. Bowling to Bashka, who hasn't really got off in terms of scoring here, but she's losing quick wickets around her. So the Leeward Islands, they're going to have to reassess their plans in terms of the target that they had in mind. Divya Saxena is the new batter in. She's at the non-striker end. Looks to go across the line, but fielder is in the way. It seems like for his innings played by Shabani Bashka, every shot she's played, a fielder is in the way. So she needs to find a way to get the gap just to take the pressure off her a bit.
She has to be careful here, though. Ramnath is getting a slight turn. And she has to be careful.
Tries to use her feet this time, but the bowler is wary of it. She pulls her length back, so it's smart bowling here from Ramnath so far.
Of course, Ramnath is only a 15-year-old. She did play in this tournament last year. But she has been, as you rightly said, she has been consistent in the Super 50.
Yeah, great diving effort there from the veteran Britney Cooper.
Well, is she really a veteran? That was certainly some good fielding there by Britney Cooper. Moving rather quickly to her left, diving to her left to stop the run.
This time she goes squarer and picks up the single. Steffi Sugrim does the cleaning up on the boundary. So one more delivery remaining in this over. Divya Saxena about to take strike for the first time in this innings.
Saxena, of course, from Canada.
And that completes the 8th over. Trinidad and, Leeward Islands, they're 24 for 3.
I'm not getting a bit of bounce with that last delivery. Delivery spun into the right-handed Saxena. And a good start there by Ramnath. Just conceding a single. Bowling a good line and good length. And attacking the stumps. Not afraid to attack the stumps, the young 15-year-old.
So Ramarak, to continue.
Leewards need to get a partnership here, though. They have seen that so far in this tournament. You can defend low scores. They need to try and get towards a 125, 130.
This time she goes up and over the infield, but just a single straight to the fielder on the boundary, Isaacs. She's been hitting that short mid-wicket fielder quite often in this inning, so that should be a better option for her trying to go up and over that fielder. And she certainly has the power to do so. So Divya Saxena was actually the highest run scorer for Leeward Islands in last year's Cricket West Indies T20 Blaze tournament. It's quite watchful so far to start her innings. Rightly so, they've lost 3 quick wickets. But certainly it's a T20 game and the overs are running away, so they'll have to find a way to get some runs on the board.
Well, this is one of the things that the batters so far they have not been doing. They have not been rotating the strike. They have not been looking for singles. But that's an age-long thing with West Indian cricket. Even the male cricketers, there are lots of complaints about our male cricketers not rotating the strike well and picking up singles.
And another dot. Looking for the single, but certainly not on. End of the over. 9 overs down, 25 for 3.
Of course, 6 singles for over, that's 6 runs. In fact, Ramnath is 16 years old. and not 15. But she has shown good skills though.
Bashka again. Seems like the game is between Bashka, the bowler, and Britney Cooper. The amount of time she's picked up Britney Cooper at that short mid-wicket area.
She could easily drop it just in front of her and get a single rather than trying to pound it to Cooper.
Yes, or she could have done something like that. You know, try to play it a bit later and walk it past her. She did on that occasion, getting it square. Getting out strike as well, so Saxena to face up to Ramnath. So Ramarank just stopping the ball in her action, getting her field placement right, getting mid-off to come a bit straighter. This time she walks it, they're looking for a quick single, could be trouble here. And I think she's gone. Yes, the finger goes up. Looking for a quick single, it wasn't on. And the field, all she had to do was get it into the keeper, who did a job there, and Bashka has to go.
Bashka, of course, not the quickest of players. And she really struggled to get home there.
Yes, and with that wicket as well, falling so close to the 10th over, the players will take a drinks break.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. And look at this.
Jazara Claxton, the new batter to the crease. Samara Ramnath to continue.
Yeah, just 2 more deliveries remaining in this over. Trinidad has done so well is they have kept pressure on the Leeward Islands. And that's mainly through their field placement and field setting.
Yeah, and the fielders so far have supported the bowlers quite well. Bowlers have obviously executed to the plans also. It's just 2 fielders in the deep, even though we're into the 10th over. Long on and deep mid wicket. Bounce and turn and given a wide by umpire Javed Prasad. Score moves up to 27 for 4. Change now by Karishma Ramarat. She takes the fielder from short square. Strengthens the offside field. She goes over to short third. Immediately, Claxton tries to pull through the shot way too early though. And it's another dot delivery to end the over. 27 for 4 at the halfway mark.
Yeah, that's good captaincy by Ramarak, recognizing I haven't seen a lot of turn on the surface. Ram not surely is extracting that, so she realized that and decided she's going to pack the offside field and ask the batter to play a risky shot across the line, which almost paid off for her.
It looks like there's going to be a change in bowling. Shalini Samaru has the ball in hand, and she will be replacing her captain, Karishma Ramarat. For the start of her over, all 4 fielders will be employed on the boundary. So deep backward square, deep mid wicket, long on, and deep cover. Ramarat remains in slip. Saxena yet to score, face 6 deliveries. Start sharp, pulled behind square, work from Alexander on the boundary. She does well. They come back for 2 runs. So Saxena finally off the mark. Not the start the captain would have wanted from Samaru, but she does have protection on the boundary.
Yes, a bit too short to start there after the way the other bowlers have gone on this track. But I was just thinking to myself, if I was a player in Trinidad and Tobago or Guyana, I'll surely want to be a spin bowler, certainly not a fast bowler.
Karishma Ramarat just brought herself from slip, went over to 45. She's unable to stop that one. Again, it's short from Samaru. Not yet found her straps. Are you sure you will want to be a spinner though? Because there's lots of competition if you're a spinner from either of those countries.
Well, there's one way to look at it, but I'll be sure to be one of the best spinners, so I'll know I'll always be able to get a ball in the team. I mean, if I'm a seamer, that's one way to look at it. If I'm a seamer, when I get the ball in hand, I'll make sure to do the best job I can do, possibly because I'm certainly not going to be back on the ball anytime soon. So,
Yeah.
the spinners,
Those youngsters listening, young ladies listening on, young boys as well. Whatever you choose to do, try to be the best at it. That way you can assure that you're in the team.
certainly. And Samaru to continue.
Going to Claxton now.
Yeah, you almost know that once the spinners start in these teams, they're probably going to continue throughout the rest of the innings. They bowl quite well also.
Yeah, how many times have we seen only one pacer being used by either Guyana or Trinidad and Tobago? For Guyana, it was Cherian Fraser in that first game. Today, so far, just Isaac. Swept in front of square. Work for Sue Grimm coming off the boundary. Does well once more, but 2 runs added to the total. Claxton off the mark.
Yeah, so good running by these 2. Surely Leeward Islands will be hoping to see more of that. Fitter, more athletic players in the middle. So they should be able to drop and run and pick up those 2s quite easily.
Tossed up, goes for a booming drive. Comes off the inner half of the bat, dot delivery. Yeah, but I always get excited whenever I see a pacer, whether it's a male or a female coming through from one of these countries. You know, the reason they produce so many spinners is because of the conditions, the surfaces in those countries. The ball does turn quite a bit. So I'm always excited when I see a pacer coming through. tossed up once again. Clarkson gets herself all tangled up, but a dot to finish the over. So 5 runs from Samaru's first. Leeward Islands 32 for 4.
Yes, I'm with you there, Selman. Actually, something I was thinking about in the under-19 tournament, for example, they do have fast bowling points, and you see in those tournaments as well how spin dominant it is there. Almost every time the pacers get to bowl, it's hardly enough, and the spinners, they take control after that once they're introduced into the attack. Might have something to do with the way we play spin. That's one thing to look at as well. They're certainly getting a walkout with spin bowling in this tournament. Apart from Barbados, majority of the team, maybe Barbados and Leewards, the majority of the team has a very dominant spin bowling attack.
Short from run off. Slap to the fielder at mid-off. Another dot. Yeah, Jamaica does have good pacers as well, and
Right,
quite a
Jamaica.
variety of pace bowlers in their attack. I do understand what you're saying, and I completely agree. I think extra bounce, dab to the left of Isaac. Janaba Joseph, in fact, coming around from backward point, she keeps them down to no run.
Yes,
Yeah, because of the way that the batters in the Caribbean play the slower bowlers, captains, coaches, management staffs, they're very much inclined to pick lots of slower bowlers.
it's also why I'm happy that, like for example, they have the under-19 tournament and they have fast bowling points there. So it incentivizes the captain to bowl the pacers more, knowing that they can get points from that, and encourages fast bowlers as well.
Slower. Slug swept by Saxena, and it's into the boundary. So finally, we see a 4. It's taken a while since we've seen a boundary, but well played, well in front of square, and too much work for Steffi Sugrim running around from deep mid wicket to stop that one. It's a welcome boundary for Leeward's team.
Yeah, she picked the gap quite well there, splitting those two fielders, and importantly, she went up and over Britney Cooper's head. The amount of times I've seen balls struck straight to Britney Cooper on that occasion, she decided to go up and over the infield.
Sugrim goes a bit straighter now. Short and wide, and Saxena misses out. And I say misses out because everyone is up on the offside. So that was an opportunity for her to score or even hit a boundary. Short and wide again. Picks out the fielder at mid-off this time. The end of the over, just 4 from it. Leeward's 36 for 4 after 12.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. Look at this.
Yeah, so Corbina Alexander has a ball in hand. She's not a spin bowler, Selman.
Perhaps Karishma Ramarat. Hearing your call to see more pacers. Alexander, with all her experience, should have represented West Indies a number of years ago. I remember touring with Corbina back in 2008. My first trip for West Indies. We toured Europe, Ireland, Holland, and the UK. She was opening bowling for West Indies at that point.
And certainly not saying that, I want to see more pacers. But the spinners have been doing a great job. I'm just saying, it's tough in these two teams, Guyana and Trinidad. As soon as the spinners get the ball in hand, it's certainly tough for the pacers to get any sort of bowling after that. But Corbina Alexander, she doesn't really tear away in terms of pace. She just bowls a steady medium pace, line and length. So her captain will be asking her to just keep it straight to the wicket.
And you're not saying you want to see more pacers. I am, though.
Okay, all right.
I am. I
Okay.
want to see more pacers bowling. Probably a bit biased because I was a pacer. You were a pacer as well. So you should be excited about
I'm not sure about that.
not fast bowlers, not fast bowlers.
I ran in. I ran in to deliver my balls, but
Enough to call yourself a pacer. We want to see more pacers bowling. It means that the fast bowlers from those countries have to work a lot harder. And remember when I first started, there were occasions where I only bowled 2 or 3 overs. And if it didn't go good with the new ball, I never got back the ball.
Yes,
Then miss.
good start there
Claxton.
by Alexander. And she's an experienced bowler, so maybe that's why the captain called on her as well. Shalini Samaru, I mean, albeit she's a spinner, and the spinners, they performed excellently so far. She didn't really find her line and length at this end, so maybe a skipper is thinking, I can bring her back at the other end just to see, because Ramnath extracted some turn from there. But Kabina Alexander, with all her experience, will be looking to operate that line and length sort of delivery to Jazara Claxton.
Yeah, good point. Maybe I could just finish my point. Remember when I
Yes, go
didn't
ahead.
bowl too many overs and it was always straight to the spinners. And I worked very hard on bowling the older ball so that the captain felt like she needed to come back to me. Sure, struck on the pad, but going down the leg side.
Certainly missed out on that delivery. No one is on that boundary on the square leg area. So had she connected there, it would have been a certain boundary.
Yeah, just to let you know, the fielders on the boundary. Deep third, Britney Cooper going to deep third. Deep fine leg. Looks to be a cold corner. Very, very, very straight. My wicket. And long on.
Play and a miss again. And Shakira, just to say, you talking about, what you had to do to stay in the team, recognizing a certain situation. That's something that players can learn from, to have a great work ethic and adjust to the situation accordingly. And that is something that a lot of players lack these days. So you have to make an adjustment. Yes, you're a pace bowler, but you certainly have to learn to bowl those variations to keep you going and keep your side in the game as well.
Yeah, you certainly have to be versatile and give yourself the best opportunity, not just to stay in teams, but to perform. That's the goal, to perform. A change of field once more. Long off being sent back. Deep fine comes into the circle. Pitched up. Claxton swinging hard, losing her shape on a few occasions. Now, she's played a lot of shots since she's gotten to the crease, but just 2 runs from 11 deliveries.
Yes, and what Kabina Alexander has done so well is she's just bowling that angle across her, and she's not able to connect cleanly. So really smart bowling here from the experienced Kabina Alexander. Once more, same sort of delivery, not able to connect, get her timing.
Yeah, really struggling with her timing today, Claxton. And the fielders in the offside are long off, deep third, and then the other 3 are in the circle, extra cover, cover, and backward point. So she just needs to time it and caress it in the gap. She's trying to hit it too hard. This time it's a lofty drive to the fielder at long off. One bounce to Leanne Kirby. Finally finds a single in this over. Just 1 run from that over, so very handy over by Kabina Alexander. Leeward's on to 37 for 4 in 13 overs.
Yeah, we saw today Trisha Hola. She was hitting the fielders when she started, and she went on to score a brilliant half century. So maybe it's a page that Jazara Claxton can look at and say, hey, I'm here, I'm in the middle. She's 3 up 13 deliveries, but certainly if she gets her timing right, there's runs to be had on the surface.
Yeah, just 7 overs remaining for the Leeward Islands side though, and that will be a worry, and perhaps playing in the back of her mind. And that's the reason she's trying to hit boundaries, but she needs to keep her shape, stay still, and watch the ball for as long as possible, Claxton. We've seen her score a number of runs in that CG United Super 50, so she does have the ability to hit boundaries.
So indeed, there's a swap now. Samaru is coming on from the other end.
Start short again. But a dot delivery. So deep cover and long off on the boundary on the offside. Long on and deep mid wicket on the on. Fielder at 45. Short mid wicket on the leg side. Short third, backward point, and extra cover on the offside. Faster, flatter. Punch to the left of Janaba Joseph at point, but she moves well. Another dot. You can clearly see Claxton being frustrated. She's getting very frustrated, and she knows she can do better. But she has to find a way to regain her composure. And that's where the experience of Saxena should come through. Just needs to knock it in the gaps, find some momentum, get into a rhythm.
Still can't find the gap. And talking about lots of spinners, there's a World Cup for the women in Bangladesh this year, and they're going to Bangladesh, so certainly spinners will be coming into play there. And there's a T20 World Cup coming into the Caribbean as well. Shakira, men's T20 World Cup. Certainly looking forward to that one. Play and a miss. So she's finding her line and length now, Shalini Samaru.
She seems to have gotten that one to turn a bit as well. So we're starting to see turn here in the second game of round 2 of this CWA T20 Blaze. Off the outside edge, finds Janaba Joseph at point once more. So 5 dots to start the over. Yeah, and we've got ICC Men's T20 World Cup coming up, starting from June 1st to June 29th. Hosted in West Indies and USA, of course. And you can get those tickets at tickets.t20worldcup.com. You also have a chance of getting them at venues available now from today, in fact.
And she finally gets one away, but just for a single, Jazara. You can see that she's getting frustrated not being able to score. So 38 for 4 after 14 overs.
Kerbina Alexander for her second. Find that being brought into the circle. She just went for 1 in her first over, Alexander. This time it's too wide. So misses it. Ends up parrying it to the fielder at deep third.
Yeah, the last 2 overs went for 1 each. So the Leeward Islands certainly need to find a way to score some runs. They need to step and get in some impetus into this batting innings. It's 4 wickets down. They have nothing to lose at this point. They should be looking to accelerate the scoring.
Yeah, bring Saxena on straight. They were able to cross for a single in addition to that wide.
Yeah, she hasn't been on strike for the last 2 overs as well. Jazara Claxton.
Missing her lane once more, Alexander. 2 straight on this occasion to the right-handed Saxena.
Yes, prior to this, Saxena actually was off strike for the last 2 overs. She got a chance to face the delivery and get off strike. Just losing her line here. Bit too wide to the left-hander. And still a bit too wide to the right-handed Divya Saxena. Probably still operating on that line and length that she had to the left-handed batter Alexander.
Punch down the ground to long off. Much better by Claxton. A bit more of that is needed. She needs to at least be able to score. She's 5 from 20 deliveries now. Jazara Claxton. Turn away into the onside for a quick single. 4 runs from the over so far, just 2 legal deliveries.
Yeah, they needed to play that type of game after they lost those 3 quick wickets. Instead of that, they were looking to go hard at everything and was just missing out and accumulated a lot of dot deliveries.
Full and wide once more. Again off the gloves of Chanel So. Buys given by the umpire. In fact, it's 7 runs off the over so far. Forgot that they ran each time a wide was bowled.
Bit of a delay here. Corbina Alexander.
Yeah, she seems to be struggling with her breathing, Corbina. They're calling for some water for her. Physio runs on as well. Few fans sat on the banks, enjoying the atmosphere and the cricket on display.
I can't do it though. I can't do it. I can't manage it. I can't manage that. She like that? Yeah.
Bat life here at Warner Park. Alexander is okay and she will continue to bowl.
Bye ball.
Starts to straight once more. The tape with wicketkeeper Chanel So.
He was really struggling at this point. 46 for 4. We are in over number 15. They're going at just over 3 runs per over. 5 overs left after this one. They would need to step it up a bit if they are going to pose a challenge in total to the Trinidad and Tobago team. But who knows what would be a challenge in total here.
Driven uppishly down the ground to the right of Shanice Pascal at mid-off, and it's a welcome boundary for Divya Saxena.
Yes, uppishly but straight, and well struck there by Saxena also. And picking up a well-needed boundary for the Leeward Islands. And with that boundary, the 50 came up from 14.4 overs.
Yeah, just too full on that occasion from Corbina Alexander. And no real pace in it, giving Saxena enough time to free her arms and strike it down the ground. Full once more, but this time a lot straighter. Saxena picks out Karishma Ramarat at sharp mid wicket.
Alexander seems to have recovered quite well.
Dot to finish. Saxena leaves alone, perhaps hoping for a wide. At the end of 15, Leeward's women 50 for 4.
So another 5 overs to go. And let's assume the Leewards get at least 9 runs per over. It means that they will fall well short of 100 runs. Of course, who knows, they could get 10 runs per over, but that's very difficult to do in the circumstances. But with 6 wickets left, I'm pretty certain that they will be looking to up the tempo at this point. But as you rightly would have said earlier on, I think Claxton has been trying to hit the ball too hard, and thus she has been losing her shape. And perhaps if she looked to set and look to work the ball around a bit, she would probably get her timing back.
Samaru to continue. off the outer half of the bat. Good fielding by Ramarat, diving to her right, keeping it down to 1 run.
So the field flung far and wide now. There's a mid-wicket on the boundary. There's also long on, long off, and in fact, as the right-hander comes into strike, the field, of course, will change a bit. For the right-handed Saxena. But we do have cover sweeping, long on, mid-wicket. Square leg goes back onto the boundary. Yeah. And Trinidad and Tobago at this point looking to save boundaries.
Punch to the fielder at mid-off. Takes off for a run, sent back. Makes it back safely, Saxena. Never was a run there. She punched it straight to Britney Cooper.
Certainly not. And in the end, she had to go back. But, of course, that's a sign of desperation at this point for the Leeward Island batters.
Again, she looks to bludgeon the ball straight back to the bowler, Shalini Samaru. And we haven't seen too many of the batters playing the ball with soft hands and looking to run. And what that also does is draws the fielders in closer.
Here again, tugging straight to short mid-wicket. And you're right, you know, they try to, if they try to play with soft hand and work the ball into the gaps, they could pick up singles and, as you said, draw the fielders in closer. And then they'll be able to go over the top.
Badly line delivery. Well set field. Ramarat herself does the fielding down on the boundary at deep backward square. Score increases by 1.
Lee was, of course, not a very good team at defending totals. Of course, they would tell you they did well against Barbados in Sunday's match when they defended well.
Further off the inside half of the bat. Quick single taken by Saxena. Shy at the stump. At the non-striker's end. But Claxton makes it safely. So 3 runs from that over. Leeward's women now 53 for 4 at the end.
Change a bowler. Bowler is coming right time over. Let's come
4 was left. They just 53 for 4. Not a very good score. We saw Barbados earlier on being able to get their score to 123 and being able to defend that. And they certainly picked up some valuable runs in the last 2 overs they faced in that particular match against the Windward Islands. And the Leewards should be looking to maximize these 4 overs that are left. You could never tell what total they could get to and, you know, put themselves in a position to at least have a fighting chance.
Deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and deep cover the boundary fielders. Well tossed up, but driven straight back to the bowler. It's another dot delivery. Claxton 7 from 24 deliveries now. Cut, but picks out Cooper at point. So she's really struggling to find the gap. Claxton. Every time she's hit the ball firmly, she's found the fielder.
She's playing some good shots or nothing.
Down the ground, straight over the bowler's side. A chance for 4, and it is. No chance for the fielders running around from long off and long on. So good option, straight back over Ramarat's head.
Yes, a very good shot indeed, and the correct option, as you rightly said. And she would have to take a bit more chance, some more chances here if she's going to get the team anywhere close to the 100 mark.
Partnership now on to 31. It was well flated as well, wide, but she was able to drag it back over Ramarat's side. Faster, and she gets her hand through that with a flash. She will hit that like a bullet and into the boundary to the right of Leanne Kirby this time.
Yes, a wonderful shot there by Claxton all along the ground this time. And she timed it well and away from any of the fielders. And it raced away to the boundary for 4. So consecutive boundaries here by Claxton. And much needed boundary there for the Leeward Islands. But they still have quite a bit of work to do, these two batters.
And what she did well on those last 2 occasions, Claxton, is she stood still, kept her head still, and hit in the V. Wide again to the right of the fielder at extra cover, to the left of the fielder sweeping on the boundary. They cross for 2 runs. So she's made some adjustments, and it's paid dividends so far. 10 runs from the last 3 deliveries.
Just another good shot. And looking to find the gap and finding it well. And picking up 10 runs so far in this over. 2 consecutive boundaries and a brace with the last delivery. And now she has the Trinidad and Tobago captain making some adjustment to the field.
Yeah, we see 2 fielders at extra cover now because Claxton has trashed the ball through that extra cover region. Full again. Well done, picks out the fielder that was just placed there. So the end of that over, 17 overs completed, 63 for 4 now.
Productive over there for the Leewards, getting 10 runs in that over. But still not enough. As we see a ferry making its way to Nevis. That looks like one of the Apple boats. And making its way across, making its journey across to Nevis. But Leeward 63 for 4, 3 overs to go. And it seems as though they're going to fall well short of 100 runs today.
Yeah, it certainly will take lots of work and lots of big striking if they're going to get close to that 100 mark, Leeward Islands. It will be Samara Ramnath to continue. She's only gone for 7 runs from her 3 overs. Lots of options for Karishma Ramarat. Steffi Sugrim still has an over. So too does Isaac. So too does Ramarat herself. Punched down the ground for a single. And they push for 2. So good awareness by Claxton. Putting pressure on the fielder. Noticing that Britney Cooper was lagging to come into that ball. She never expected them to come for 2 runs. Look at it there. She's jogging in, Cooper. So they've put pressure on her. Even with all her experience, good awareness by Claxton, who was going back to the danger end.
Claxton, who in fact took a tumbling there. But good awareness, but perhaps too little too late at this juncture. But nevertheless, starting the over well. A good aggressive run in picking up 2 runs.
I think cricket wants more. Some of what was needed earlier on. But they have to keep believing. They have to take some sort of confidence from what they're doing now. Perhaps they can swing the momentum back into their favor. It is a Trinidad side that has not been batting well. Remember that.
Certainly, as a matter of fact, I think Trinidad would have bowled out Guyana for some 47 runs last year. I think that might have been a 50-over match. And when one thought Trinidad and Tobago would have won that match, they capitulated for some 36 runs. So, and they have not been batting well this year, as I said. So, who knows?
And remember last game, Trinidad and Tobago were bowled out for 66. So Leeward Islands now have just passed that score. They can take some belief into their fielding effort. 67 for 4 now.
And that is why it is very critical for the Leeward Islands to try and maximize on the deliveries that are left in their innings. And I think they would have to try and take some risk at this point, try and get more than just singles.
Extra bounce pulled away to the fielder coming off the deep mid wicket boundary. Falls well short of Sugrim. Another run added to the total.
What the Leewards need at this point are some boundaries.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. But what's important is that they limit the number of dot balls from here on in. Pulled away to Cooper at long on, who comes in a bit more swiftly on this occasion.
So another 13 legal deliveries left for the Leeward Islands. But, as you said, Trinidad and Tobago scored 66 in their first match on Sunday. Ball down. Swinging across the line of that one and missing completely. Saxena shows ball down. Leg stump knocked back.
Yeah, good bowling by Young Ramnath. This one flighted, and Saxena never got in a good enough position to sweep that ball. You see her left foot stays very leg side of the ball, and it ends up being a wild heave across the line. So first wicket for Ramnath at the very end of her spell. 4 overs, 1 for 13. Leewards lose their 5th at 69.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. And look at this.
It will be Steffi Sugrim to come for her final over. Both 3 consecutive overs in the power play. 3 very miserly overs as well. Got 1 for just 3 runs.
So, of course, being the penultimate over of the innings.
So it will be left arm around the wicket to the left-handed Claxton. Back of a length and it's pint down the ground. Hit firmly, but good movement by Kirby running around from long off. Brings Kimberly Anthony, the new batter, into straight.
I think Trinidad and Tobago would have picked up the wicket of Saxena at a very important time. 2 set batters, of course. This lets in a new batter in Anthony who has to start.
Yeah, but Anthony can hit a long ball as well. We've seen her muscle a few boundaries during that CT United Super 50 Cup. Tucked up on this occasion, not given the freedom to get her hands through it. Picks out Karishma Ramarat at extra cover. Back of a length, that one keeps very low. Well done by the wicket keeper to stay down and collect that cleanly.
Anthony seems to be a bit anchored in her crease, though. She's not moving her feet well. She's just standing there and swinging.
Yeah, what she's hoping for is a length delivery into the slot. Sugrim is not giving her that so far. She's pulled the length right back at Anthony.
Well, she would have to create, the length.
Flatter, faster, played in the ear. Falls well short of Cooper. Chance for a run out. She opts not to go for the direct hit. Anthony makes it safely.
So Leeward seems to be stalled at this point. Just the 2 runs in the over so far. And of course, this being the penultimate over.
Should just be 1 to end a brilliant spell of bowling. 4 overs, 1 for 6 by Steffi Sugrim. Open the bowling the power play under pressure. Leeward Islands women 72 for 5 at the end of 19. 6 legal deliveries remaining.
Yes, very good over there. Coming back and completing a spell and just conceding 3 runs and bowling the penultimate over of the innings, of course. So this has been a very good performance by Sugrim. And you would have thought that at this point, the Leeward Islands would have been looking to pick up a couple of boundaries, but instead they have just picked up a couple of singles.
Ramarat. No, in fact, Shalini Samaru from the far end to finish things. Slap down to the fielder at long off. Decides not to attempt a catch. Just 1 run to start the final over. Samaru has recovered quite well after starting from this media center end. She was too short, too flat in that initial over. Since she's been switched to the Lazat Road end, she has found her rhythm. So long off, long on, deep mid wicket and deep cover the boundary fielders. 5 legal deliveries remaining. Uses her feet this time. Ends up dragging it to the fielder at long on. Claxton has to duck for cover.
That's much better from Anthony. You know, she at this stage she would have to create her own length. And, you know, the use of the feet was good that time. She got to it, but cross-batted it down to long on for a single. But a good attempt nevertheless.
Again, Claxton picks up Alexander at long off. A very straight long off as well. Good start. Good 3 deliveries by Samaru. She wants to prevent the Leeward Islands women from getting any boundaries in this over.
Yes, a very good start indeed, and she has accomplished that so far. Realizes that Anthony is going across the line and has brought cover in, and they sent back the square leg.
Flat, fast, pulled into the leg side, and it's an easy catch for Steffi Sugrim. She's been brilliant all day, Sugrim, and well done by Shalini Samaru. Flatter, faster, asking Kimberly Anthony to hit up into the wind after strengthening that leg side field, and it's another wicket for the Trinidad and Tobago side.
Yes, a good catch there. Not a difficult one by any means, but looking at Sugrim, you always thought that she was going to hold on to that one. She really approached it confidently. And the Leewards now just some 75 runs. I thought at one point that they would have gotten into the 90s, but with 2 deliveries left, well, they seem to be struggling to get into the 80s. But as you rightly said, Trinidad and Tobago was bowled out for some 66 runs in the opening match. And who knows, a match which they lost to Guyana. Guyana losing just some 3 wickets to track down that 66 runs. So Leewards still in with a chance, but we have seen Leewards not defending too well in the past, but who knows?
Melissa Clark to the crease, and she gets off the mark immediately. Swinging this one around to deep backward square. Ramarat does the fielding. 1 legal delivery remaining.
Leewards would dearly love a boundary here. And Trinidad and Tobago is trying to prevent that. Mid-wicket goes back onto the boundary. There's long on, long off, and the cover sweeping.
Tossed up. Big heave down the ground, but it looks like it will only be 1. Do they come back for a second? They do take on the arm of Britney Cooper. Samaru nowhere close to the stumps, and perhaps not a very good throw. 2 runs to end this innings. Leeward Islands women, they get up to 78 for 6 at the end of their 20 overs. Means Trinidad and Tobago women, they will need 79 if they're going to win.
Yes, just some 79 runs needed. Not the sort of total the Leeward Islands would have hoped that they would have gotten having won the toss and electing to bat. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, they have not been batting too well in this tournament, so one never knows what can take place this afternoon. But I would say the edge goes to Trinidad and Tobago in the first half of this match.
Well hit. Away it goes. That
Well, good afternoon from Warner Park once more. We have just seen the Leeward Islands women batting for some 20 overs and just getting 78 runs and losing 6 wickets. So Trinidad and Tobago women lead some 79 runs. They have all of 20 overs in which to do so. I welcome back my good friend Stacey.
Good afternoon, all, and good afternoon to all the viewers. And you know what they say, hindsight is a wonderful thing. And they say that for a reason, because the way they tried to end the innings, you know, they look to walk it around, pick up the single. Had they done that in the middle period of their batting innings, they well could have gotten up to about 120 or so. They faced a lot of that deliveries. I like to get the stats on that one.
Oh yes, and you know, we kept speaking about trying to work the ball into the gap, playing with soft hands and picking up singles, but they were not doing so. And certainly it has been a shortcoming of a lot of these teams in this year's tournament. But Anthony will start from the media center end.
Yes, the opening batters, Sunil Sao and Britney Cooper. Last game, Britney Cooper and Celine O'Neill opened the batting. Sunil Sao, although she got run out, looked to be the batter in form. She was striking the ball quite nicely. So she's opening the batting today.
Takes first delivery. Too short, stayed nicely down to third man. And she picks up 2 off the mark immediately.
Some footwork there by Reni's boys to keep that in the rope. And it's also a no ball, so Sunil Sao has an opportunity for free hits. Another good start here by the Leeward Islands. The Trinidad and Tobago, they'll be happy by this start. Nicely stared into the gap, played it quite late. There's Sunil Sao. She got off the mark quite well.
So 3 runs from the first delivery, a post start here for the Leewards.
It's a front foot no ball. So free hit coming up for Sao.
Swings and misses. And so often I've seen a number of free hits in, well, at least in the Super 50. And players have not been able to capitalize on these free hits.
Yes, it's a delivery you can take all the risk in, because you cannot get out although unless you are run out. So it's up to you now as the batter to improvise if you have to. You know, try any sort of risky or funky shot just to get the ball off the square. Cannot get out.
Not a run, of course. A wide signal by umpire Brown. Loud appeal as Saw was driving it and missing outside the off stump.
It's a better delivery there from Kimberly Anthony. Usually beats the back of the opening batters early when she opens the bowling, so she's found her line and length. Just slightly moving away from the bat of Sunil Sao.
Leewards, of course, needing early wickets. So it is right up to the batsman outside the off stump, no shot offered.
And she's bowling really full, Anthony. Well, that's good. Getting a bit of movement away from the right-hander. That occasion, Sao just deciding to leave it alone.
So Lee was looking for wickets there. There's a slip in place. There's a gully, point, cover, extra cover mid-off. Driving that outside the off stump once more, missing through to the keeper.
Yes, this time movement into the right-hander. So Kimberly Anthony, usually when she starts with this new ball, she gets it to move a bit. So certainly a good start by the Leeward Islands, opting with her. She didn't start well, but she's certainly finishing off her over well.
This time she beats her outside the off stump once more. And perhaps guilty of hanging a bat out at that one. A delivery outside the off stump. And through it went to the keeper. On the onside, there's a square leg, a short mid-wicket and a mid-on.
So just some experience coming through there. Britney Cooper going up to young Sao and just having a word with her. They already have 4 runs in the over. Just requires 75 more from 115 deliveries. Well within reach. Less than 4 runs and over from here on out.
shortish, defended as the over comes to an end. But 4 runs from that first over for Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, if they bat these 20 overs, they should get these runs quite easily. So what should the Leeward Islands be thinking at this point? They need wickets, and which bowlers do the captain think could get them wickets at this point?
Yeah, apart from those extras, well, the no ball and the wide, Kimberly Anthony, she served up quite a good over for the Leeward Islands. So Roselle Leibert, new bowler, started well for the Leeward Islands against Barbados, picking up 2 wickets in that game.
So quite obviously, the Captain Edwards thinks that she's one of the bowlers who could get them some wickets. There's no slip in place though for Leibert. Starts too short and wide, as a matter of fact. Not a good start. But she has this sort of round arm action for an off spinner. Cooper is defending. Gets it into the offside. This time she's a bit straight and worked into the onside for a single. As Cooper, in fact, she's going back for a second run and gets it too. So she gets off the mark with those 2 runs.
That's a really good running from these two. It was hit to the left of that fielder. She had to make some ground to get it, and they were aware of that and got back for 2 quite comfortably in the end.
Attempted cut here by Britney Cooper, missed completely. And taken behind by Parker. Of course, the Leewards do have Renice Boyce, who is also a wicketkeeper. He's good batting by the Trinidad and Tobago batters. The experienced Cooper just taking the pace off that one, just easing it into the onside and calling through for a quick single. And Sau responded well.
Yeah, smart batting from these two. I mean, the fielders, they aren't tight in the circle. It's quite easy for them to walk things around, walk the ball around and pick up quick singles. Yes, Renice Boyce isn't wearing the gloves in the T20 series. We saw her bowl some very fast off breaks in that game against Barbados. Picked up the wicket of Kaisia Knight in that match, a key breakthrough as well. So might be seeing her bowling some later on in this innings.
Another wide just signal there by umpire Prasad at the far end. 1 more to the score. In fact, here comes another one. Signal by Prasad. So consecutive wides.
The bowler seemed quite surprised by that call, but she has to go back. There's 1 more delivery to finish out the second over.
Turned into the onside, but there's a short mid-wicket in place to block that single. And no run. So Anthony will continue from the media center end. And she's into her second over, the third over of this innings. Driven over the top, over extra cover. Sowell, in fact, Cooper picks up a second run. And that brace of runs take her on to 5. Not afraid to go over the top, Britney Cooper. There's a cover and extra cover in place, also mid-off. Over the top once more and we'll get 4. This time in the onside, to the right of mid-on and over short mid-wicket and down to the boundary for 4.
Well, she's a tall batter, Britney Cooper, so has a very nice reach. So up and over is certainly one of the best options for her in the power play. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they have opted to open with her. She can access those areas for the Trinidad and Tobago team.
So Anthony being roughed up a bit here by Cooper. And she's playing at and missing this time.
Yeah, better delivery from her, not too full as the other 2 deliveries were. So just pulling her length back a bit and beating the right-handed batter.
It's a small chase, but I think that the Trinidad and Tobago team would be looking to break the back of this chase as early as possible. This is a good pull into the onside and almost brilliantly caught. Mid-wicket coming off the boundary. Made a valiant attempt, that looks like Clark down there. And she got both hands to it.
There's a short delivery from Kimberly Anthony and power to the onside, and the fielder running in, maybe just running a bit too much effort on her part, putting it down in the end. Didn't even pick up that fielder out there, to be honest. She's actually off the field now, probably injuring herself in the attempt at taking that catch. But to be honest, I didn't really pick up the fielder. I'm not too sure if Britney Cooper saw her as well, with the sun shining in that area, in that direction there. I really didn't see her until the ball went into her hands, to be honest.
McCall goes onto the field. The emergency fielder. She's at mid-off. Cooper is driving once more. Should get at least 2. And Cooper seems to be bent on making short work of this small total.
There's the shadow from the screen right there, and when that fielder is in that position, have to really surveil your field before the bowler runs into bowl.
Nice flick off the pads here. More runs here for Cooper, down to backward square this time. Fumble there. And they're back for the second, so Cooper is looking good. She's playing some good shots, and she has rushed down to 15.
Yeah, it's a Trinidad and Tobago side that's been down on their luck in this tournament. So the question I was asking myself at the halfway mark is, you know, what sort of approach they'll be taking chasing this small total of 79. And they've answered that. They've rushed on to 22 without loss for 3, and I think they'll be better off just taking it to these Leeward Islands bowlers and just boost their confidence along the way. If there's a setback, then they can reassess things, because the target is small enough that they can try to go at it at the top and then reassess things in the middle.
Yes, and as I said a while ago, looking to break the back of this chase as early as possible. This is not good bowling, as it's punched into the offside. Edwards, of course, the guilty party. Another 2 runs.
Yeah, they've run exceptionally well, these 2. What the Leeward Islands fielders on the boundary can look to do is maybe just coming a bit halfway off the circle, especially the boundary, on the onside, and a diving effort from Cheyenne Moses. Can't see her pulling that back in, and a boundary to Sunel Sau. Another player down for the Leeward Islands.
Yes, another player down. Another good shot also. And she seems to have injured herself. And the Leeward Islands, of course, walking wounded at this time. 2 players down. And she really dived across that one. And he's hoping that she has not injured her shoulder. She has not picked up a serious injury. But Trinidad and Tobago certainly, they have started well. They're going well towards this target of some 78 runs.
Yeah, in trying to dive to stop that ball, she probably landed awkwardly on her hand. Seems to be favoring that left arm of hers.
Seems to be in quite a bit of pain. Physio is not there yet.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. Look at this.
That's like international game, right? I like Mila people like big player. It's a medics right, bro? Not just one set. Is that according to where is it? When I big games. And in the West Indies, you'll get one. No, not in West Indies. India, I think. Yeah, I think you'll have more than one. So, she said you'll have from the doctors and players, and then the ambulance people. Six. Let's go.
So we're back with play at the moment. Moses, she has been taken off the field. And she seemed to have suffered some injury. And we are hoping that it's nothing too serious. But here's another single to Saw. Steering it into the offside. And we're adjusting over number 4, and already the Trinidad and Tobago team has racked up 29 without loss. Shortish.
Yes, and they've done that without taking a lot of risk, actually. They've done that with a lot of brilliant running between the wickets. Every time it's hit out to the boundary, they look to take 2.
Bowling those has not applied too much pressure. Here's a misfield, and it's going out towards the mid-wicket boundary as it was pulled into the onside by Cooper, and 4 more to the score. Short, pulled into the onside, and that looks like Boyce, who was, in fact, that's Basker who was slowly down and missed it.
Yeah, just a bit too short there. These Amanda Edwards, who's actually been introduced into the attack. Leeward Islands bowlers have been a bit too short to these Trinidad and Tobago batters.
Boyce, in fact, the guilty party. Basker is that short third man. So end of over number 4. And Trinidad and Tobago playing strongly. 34 from 4. Leeward Islands bowling has not looked too penetrative.
Certainly not, and they're wondering now where can they pick up a wicket from, which is imperative if they are to deter this victory. What looks like a certain victory for Trinidad and Tobago. The only way Leeward Islands are going to come back into this game and pose a threat is if they pick up all 10 wickets for the Trinidad and Tobago attack. So far, Trinidad and Tobago, they're on top of things.
Well, they're hoping Hector could pick up a wicket for them now. She comes into the attack. Bots a run.
Still in the power play, the 2 fielders out, third man, and a fielder at mid wicket, lurking in the shadows there.
So Hector will try for the leewards, and they need some wickets here, and they need them quickly. This one is driven by Cooper. Cooper's looked good so far. She has looked confident, and she seems to be timing the ball well. Nicely steered down to third man by Cooper for a single.
Well, she's certainly striking it well and playing smart cricket as well, and that's one of the things the Trinidad and Tobago outfit has been missing, firing Britney Cooper. Certainly we'll be hoping that she can get some runs under her belt. It will certainly give the team a lot of confidence going into the rest of the games in this T20 Blaze tournament. So a stacked offside field now. 5 fielders in the ring. The offside.
Turned it nicely up to mid-on for single. Turn breaking the stumps. But single easily taken. And the one more to Saw. She's on 10 from 13, giving good support to Britney Cooper. And there's a loud appeal for this one as she swung across the line. The finger goes up, the finger of umpire Brown. And Cooper is on the way. And just as we were singing a glory, singing praises to Cooper, Cooper playing a rather ugly looking shot, playing across the line, being struck on the pad and being given out like before.
Seemed to play a bit too early on that delivery. Missing it, looking to play, as you said, shot across the line. Ill-advised at this time. They were batting quite well, this pair. But she was looking to take the attack to the bowlers, which is not a bad approach, given that they only need just under 3 runs and over. 43 runs required from 92 balls, and that's the wicket that the Leeward Islands have been searching for. That's delivered by Shanisha Hector.
Interesting to note there that Cooper was showing a bat as if to suggest that she had gotten an edge onto it. And of course, we do not like to see players doing this. Umpire has made a decision. There's no review system in place. And you just have to take it and leave it. Take it and leave.
So the new batter is Janaba Joseph. Not a misfiring batter as well in this lineup. Someone that Trinidad and Tobago would have been hoping to have a lot of runs behind her coming into this T20 tournament. Unfortunately for her, it hasn't been her tournament.
Joseph, of course, who's one of the players for the Trinidad and Tobago senior team. This one is wide, signal wide also by umpire Brown. So one more to the Trinidad and Tobago score.
Yeah, so with the scoring rate the way it is now, it's just an opportunity for these two talented young batters to, you know, get their eye in, try and score some runs, get some runs behind their belt heading into the rest of this tournament.
She's defending. Joseph gets it into the offside to complete the over. So 5 overs completed, 37 for 1.
So welcome back to the commentary booth, Shakira. Trinidad and Tobago 37 for 1 after 5 overs. Looking quite comfortable at this point in time.
Thanks, Stacey Ann. Yeah, clearly they're looking to finish this game in a hurry. To Zara Claxton into the attack for the first time. Very interesting by the Leeward Islands women to only introduce Shanisha Hector into the attack in the 5th over and Claxton in the 6th. You expect those two to be the strike bowlers for this side, especially when you're defending such a low total. Just 42 runs required now.
Yes, and they decided to bring that fielder in the circle, which is something I was thinking they could have done a bit earlier just to keep pressure on the two batters because they've been running well so far, the Trinidad and Tobago team. And now you see that fielder in the circle right away in action, restricting what would have been a show single had she been back on the boundary.
Yeah, what tends to happen sometimes with captains in situations like this, they don't want the opponents to run away with the game, but they're also trying to take wickets, so sometimes it's hard for some captains to strike a balance. It's good to see that she's opted to bring that fielder from deep cover into the circle. 2 fielders on the boundary, fine leg and deep third. Wider on this occasion, but well fielded by the fielder at cover. McCoy, that is.
Substitute fielder McCoy. Some injury being done to the fielder that was previously on the boundary, so McCoy comes in as a substitute.
Yeah, just a little bit of room given on that occasion by Claxton, and so does well to get behind it and slap it into the offside. But McCoy anticipated that well. Started running to her left very early. Joseph on strike now. Wider again. Janaba Joseph this time plays with softer hands, a deft touch to the left of backward point. She gets 2 runs.
And that's just what I was about to mention. The fact that the fielders are on the edge of the circle, just open the bat face a bit and play with softer hands and you'll get a single because these two are fit and they're running well between the wicket.
Yeah, what she also did well there, Joseph, is that she played the ball very late. Allowed it to just pass her, so it was easier to access that backward point area. Run it down to third man for an easy 2. Straighter turn to the fielder at square leg. Chance for a run out. She makes it safely. Chanel Sow. single to end the over. So the end of the power play. Trinidad and Tobago women 41 for 1.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. And look at this.
Shanisha Hector to continue. Wicket taker dismissed Britney Cooper, a judge LBW in her previous over.
Shabani Bashka is in a very interesting position, really close to the batter in that gully position.
Flash and a miss outside off stump by Joseph. This is a good decision by Captain Amanda Edwards to get Shabani Bhaskar in that gully, especially for Janaba Joseph, who at the start of her innings loves to run the ball down to third man. So now she has to think twice about playing that shot. There is a slip and a gully and the deep third as well. It's good captaincy. There you go. This time she's able to find the gap down to the field at deep third for a single.
Kane Williamson-like shot there from Janaba Joseph, still managing to pierce that very small gap there with very soft hands as well. So impressive stuff from the youngster.
Yeah, just like the legend Kane Williamson. She plays that ball very late. So why she's able to access that area. Another play and a miss. Gully stays in for Chanel So. Hector remains wide outside off stump, hoping for an edge to fly to any of the three people behind the bat waiting.
I'm still liking this, what I'm seeing from Leeward Islands, though. They're trying things, and that's very important. The situation that they're in right now, it's only wickets that can get them out of it. So it's good to see that they're trying something just to get in the head of the batters.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're looking to win the game. The only way they're going to define such a small total is by getting wickets. At least getting into the lower order of this Trinidad and Tobago side. Trinidad has gotten off to a flyer, 42 for 1 in 6.4 overs. Another play and a miss. Big booming drive attempted by Chanel So. Luckily for her, it doesn't take the outside edge. So 7 fielders on the offside, just 2 on the onside. So good execution by Hector so far. Deep fine leg and sharp mid wicket, the 2 on the leg side. Slashed away, can only pick out Saxena at point. So just 1 run from the 7th over. Trinidad and Tobago women 42 for 1.
Yes, and I was going to mention Shakira. You know, we had that discussion about the fast bowlers before in the first innings, and I'm sure you're enjoying this spell of bowling from Shanisha Hector. The consistency she showed in that over to keep it on that specific line and lane that her captain asked her to bowl at, and executed quite well.
Yeah, 7 fielders on the offside for that over, and she stayed outside off stump. So she really executed the plan that the captain set. And they will hope that Jazara Claxton can do the same from the far end. It's really pleased to see that Hector didn't go experimenting in that over. Notice throughout the tournament, she's gone to that slower delivery when she didn't necessarily need to. Too straight from Claxton on this occasion. Wide signal by the umpire.
A different field setting now for Jazara Claxton. They don't have that slip and that gully that they had for Hector. Probably asking Jazara Claxton to take it into the right-handed batter.
She does that. Joseph turns it away to the fielder at short mid wicket.
So a nice little period for the Leeward Islands. Certainly Trinidad and Tobago, they're on top of the game, but a nice little period from the Leeward Islands. They're thinking, they have a plan and they're bowling to it, and the captain has a plan and she's asked her bowlers to bowl to that plan, and they're delivering quite well.
Slower delivery, picked by Joseph, who waits for it but can only pick up Bhaskar at point. It looked to be a leg cutter sent down by Claxton. Not getting it as full as you perhaps would have wanted to, giving Joseph more than enough time to realize and adjust. Another slower delivery. She is getting it to cut, and there's a chance for a run out at the non-strikers, and Joseph easily makes it. So she is getting it to cut. She's really ripping her hand down the left side of that delivery, delivering it from the back of her arm.
Yeah, and such a good adjustment from Jazara Claxton. It shows that she's learning as she go. That one was wide, and the next delivery, she decided, you know what, I can get it a bit fuller and straighter, and she did so. So proper execution from the youngster, and good awareness from Sao calling through Janaba for a single.
Short, way too short, and easily pulled behind square by Chanel Sao.
Yes, too short there, and Chanel Sao is in really good touch. All she had to do was swivel and pull that using her wrist quite well to get it behind backward square leg.
And she's just released the pressure a bit there. So, Claxton.
Well, Sao did release the pressure as well.
Good point.
You got the boundary.
Short again. This time she turns it to the right of that fielder at backward square. Crosses for one. So good cricket. A boundary, and then she manages to get off straight. 49 for one. No. Some spectators is coming after work to support the Leeward Islands team. Slower delivery again, but too straight on this occasion. Joseph does well to get inside the line of the ball. Helps it down to deep fine leg for a single. That single brings up the 50. 50 for one at the end of 8 Trinidad and Tobago women.
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. And look at this.
Curfew. You could only go out how we can pull. Well, it wouldn't. Water break. Well, after.
Shanisha Hector from the media center in for a third successive over. She sent down 2 overs, got on the wicket of Britney Cooper. She's only gone for 4 runs. Still a slip and a gully. Late on that drive, Joseph hits it straight to the fielder at mid-off, Amanda Edwards.
They're continuing with the same plan for Janaba Joseph as they had in the other over. It's a question of if Shanisha Hector can maintain her consistency, as she did quite well in the last over.
Oh, well placed. Somehow she manages to pierce that gap. It wasn't a very big gap, but she gets across in line with the ball, and she's able to guide it between that gully fielder and the fielder at backward point. Well played, Janaba Joseph.
Yeah, played exceptionally well given the field placement and the plan that they have against young Joseph. And she played it so late, right under the eye, watched it right on the bat and got it into that very small gap there. So magnificent work there from Joseph.
Immediately, there's a change in fuel. They decide to send the cover fielder back to sweep on the boundary. Bit too reactive. They still need wickets. The score is 54 for 1. Just needed another 25 runs. Don't see the need for that fielder on the boundary. Nailed the Yorker this time. So good follow-up delivery.
Yes, a good delivery from Hector. It shows that she's really thinking her game. She knows now that Janaba Joseph, she knows what they're trying to do. Bowl outside the off stump for her. So she just decided on that occasion she's going to bowl a fuller, straighter delivery. Almost getting it to squeeze through to those stumps.
Here, Mushanisha Hector, the lone Antiguan female to represent the West Indies women. Wide signaled by umpire Caroline Brown.
Yeah, just 24 more runs required from 69 deliveries, Trinidad and Tobago.
Flip aerially. One bounce to the fielder sharp made wicket. Just had to get it to the left or the right of that fielder, and she would have been able to at least get 2 runs. Remember, that's the only fielder in front of square on the leg side. So Leeward Islands, they still have a 7-2 heavily packed offside field. Joseph will be disappointed that she wasn't able to score from that delivery. Full toss. And again, she's unable to score. No signal from the umpire. So they don't think it was too high.
She just couldn't get in line quick enough to execute it because, as you mentioned, there's only one fielder there at short mid-wicket. The other fielder on the onside is at fine leg. So all she needed to do was get in position quickly, swivel her wrong, and she probably would have collected some runs. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do so.
Full toss again. This time she's able to get back on it. Only gets 1 run. Turns it into the leg side. She'll be disappointed with the last few deliveries. Both Hector and Joseph. Hector getting away with it. The end of another over. After 9, Trinidad and Tobago women 56 for 1.
Yes, and she plays the ball quite late on the offside. It's something that she could have probably applied there to the onside. Just play it a bit later or use her wrist just to get it to the square leg area where she could have picked up some runs because it's quite vacant out there. So it's just something for her to implement to her game as she grows in it. Certainly has the talent, young Janaba Joseph.
Yeah, one of the brighter young talents in the region. She too has made her senior international debut. Another one of the West Indies under-19 players who took part in that inaugural under-19 World Cup last year in South Africa.
And sometimes in this T20 game, we get so caught up with trying to hit the ball hard. Sometimes we forget about timing and placement. And just some timing and placement could have well seen her picking up a boundary from those last 3 deliveries.
Bernice Boyce into the attack. Starts too straight. Wide signal by the umpire. Fielder only 45 comes a bit finer. Short can only pick out the fielder extra cover. Joseph. Another opportunity where she should have scored. Picks out the fielder again. Turns it straight to the fielder at only 45.
Well, the gap at cover is wide open. Field is on the boundary. But she can get it into that gap there. Soft hands. Can see her picking up a single and getting Sau on strike.
Short. She doesn't get all of it. Just manages to find the fielder coming in from deep square. Another run added to the total. Boyce normally dons the gloves. Last few games she's played as an all-rounder in this side.
Yes, there you go. Nicely done there by Sunel Sau. Recognizing that there's a gap wide open and all she has to do is tap it there with soft hands and she'll pick up a run. So very smart cricket from Sau.
Yeah, got into position very early, Chanel Sau. She punched that one to the left of extra cover. Janaba Joseph opting to pull away from the ball as opposed to what Sau is doing. She's able to find a single as well. Halfway through the overs, Trinidad and Tobago women 60 for 1. And we will take a drinks break.
आप लोगों को नजर आ रहा है well hit away it goes that is a ridiculous and look at this
Back at Warner Park here in St. Kitts, Trinidad and Tobago in pursuit of 79 for victory, 60 for 1 at the end of 10 overs, just requiring a further 19 runs to get off the mark and get their first points in this CWA T20 Blaze.
So far so good. We saw Leeward Islands getting some points on Sunday, Of course, Trinidad and Tobago did not pick up any.
Saxena into the attack for the first time today. Starts with a wide. Very good take by the keeper down the leg side.
And of course, Barbados picked up some points today, whereas on Sunday they lost to the Leeward Islands.
Driven down the ground. Should just be one. Bahar is thinking about two. They don't. Leeward does good enough from the long on boundary.
So, of course, Trinidad and Tobago on the verge of picking up some points today unless something dramatic happens. 17 from 59 deliveries.
I think that was a leg break. Experimentation from Divya Saxena. Radar slightly off, but an interesting change up. She normally bowls off spin, so trying to outfox Chanel. So this time it's another wide down the leg side and the off break on this occasion.
Well, not a good start here by Saxena. Losing control.
Short, so does not get a lot of bat on it, but because there's no fielder in the circle in front of the square on the leg side, it's an easy single.
Trinidad and Tobago has been control of this match throughout. They started well. They would have picked up early wickets. At one point, the lead was 12 for 2.
Well thrown. No one getting around to back up in time. And it goes all the way to the fielder at deep backward square. Allows another run. Not sure Captain Amanda Edwards needed to throw that ball on that occasion.
Certainly not. And Basker, burly looking figure, not being able to get down to stop that one.
Full toss. Advances. Joseph perhaps gets too close to that one on this occasion. Still gets 2 runs though.
I think Saxena is getting away with some bad deliveries here. Joseph not capitalizing on a full pitch delivery.
Uses her feet once more. Lost it down the ground. One bounce to Leeward on the long on boundary. It's been a mixed bite from 30-year-old Divya Saxena so far. She is the vice captain of the Canadian national team.
Better delivery that time, of course.
Low full toss. Easily stroked down the ground by Chanel So, who looks well in control so far. The end of the Saxena over after 11. Trinidad and Tobago women 71 for 1.
So into the 7th is now Trinidad and Tobago, needing another 8 runs to win. And it could very well be over in this upcoming over.
Don't do it. Not do
Yeah, it will be boys to continue, and she'll be hoping that she can at least make it go to the next over. She wouldn't want the winning runs to be struck off her. Didn't contribute with the bat today, Bernice Boyce. Lost her middle stump at the end of the very first over to Steffi Sugrim. Former Trinidad and Tobago vice captain, Bernice Boyce, her first year with the Leeward Islands side.
Very useful addition to the Leeward Islands team, and a chance there of picking up a wicket.
Good try, boys. Good try.
Yeah, chance put down. She had to go to her right swiftly, Bernice Boyce. Ending up just pushing it over the tip of the bar and down to the fielder at long on. So given a chance, moves on to 20. Flat, fast, and through everybody. Beats Janaba Joseph, who tries to pull it, and beats the wicket keeper, Therese Parker, into the boundary for 4 byes.
Bad miss there by the wicketkeeper Parker. And 4 more to the score. So, so far we have had some 5 runs in this over. Another 4 runs needed. In fact, another 3 runs needed by Trinidad and Tobago to win this match.
Yeah, still a sweeper on the offside boundary. This time, Joseph moves quickly enough to get a pull. Good running by Chanel Sow, putting pressure on the fielder coming in from deep mid wicket. So just 1 run now for Trinidad and Tobago women to get their first win in this year's T20 Blaze.
So, as I anticipated, the match could very well be over in this over.
Short again from Boyce and pulled into the gap to the right of the fielder at short mid wicket, and that will be enough for Trinidad and Tobago women to get across the line. Janaba Joseph finishes on 22. Chanel Sow, who opened the batting today, finishes on 20, not out.
Yes, a good performance there by the Trinidad and Tobago team. They were always in control of this match, dismissing the Leewards for 78 runs. And they responded quite nicely. They never gave the Leeward Islands a sniff, finishing at 79 for 1 in 11.4 overs. And a very fitting and a good performance there by the Trinidad and Tobago women, and getting their first victory today.
Yeah, it means Trinidad and Tobago women, they secure a bonus point as well. So not just getting off the mark, they've also gotten a bonus point by virtue of that run rate. So they win this game by 9 wickets. Trinidad and Tobago women, a very convincing victory set up primarily by their bowlers, led by Steffi Sugrim, who got 1 for 6 from her 4 overs. Smiles finally on the faces of Trinidad and Tobago women.
Yes, and they rightly deserve to be smiling at this point. They really performed well out there in the field today. Of course, aided and abetted by the Leeward Islands team, of course. They did not bat well, and in fact left it too late to try to up the tempo. Leeward Islands only losing some 6 wickets, and they're not getting to at least 100 runs. A good strong reply there by Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm pretty certain they would be happy with this batting performance going forward.
Yeah, remember, Leeward Islands women, they won the toss, elected to bat, never put enough runs on the board, got to 78 for 6 at the end of their 20. Trinidad and Tobago women, 79 for 1, and it just took them 11.4 overs to get the victory. So we're at the end of match number 2 of round 2 of the CWA T20 Blaze here in St. Kitts and Nevis at Warner Park. Join us at 7 p.m. for the final day, the final game into this play between Jamaica women and Guyana women.